Hi everybody, this is Saad for the Sad Truth. Today I'd like to discuss one of the most famous psychology experiments of all time, the Solomon Asch conformity study from the 1950s. I recently discussed it in my MBA consumer behavior class, and so I thought that I might cover it briefly here in the Sad Truth. I love the experiment because it is so simple, so elegant. You know, you could explain it to a 10-year-old child, and yet the findings are profound in what they say about human nature. So he wanted to basically study if one can get people to conform to group pressure, even when it comes to a stimulus that's quite unambiguous. So can I get you to do what everybody else is doing, even though your eyes are telling you that this is absolutely impossible, it's wrong? And so what he basically did is he brought in a bunch of people into the lab, and then he rigged the experiment in that, let's say he brought in 8 people at a time. 7 of the 8 are Confederates, meaning they're pretending to be participants, but they're really in on the experiment, whereas the 8th participant is the true participant from whom we're going to elicit the actual data. And so you seat them at some table, and you're basically going to show them the following stimulus. You have, let's say, line A of a certain length, and then you've got lines X, Y, Z next to it, one of which, so either X or Y or Z, is the same length as A, and all that the participants have to do is say which of X, Y, or Z is the same length as line A. And the stimulus is constructed in such a way that it's quite clear to anybody who's got normal vision to be able to say which one it is. So let's say it's line Y. So A is the same as line Y. And so basically what he's going to do is he's going to start eliciting the responses of each of the participants. So the first participant looks at it, at the stimulus, and of course he gives the wrong answer. So he says, oh, it's Z. And then the second one says Z, and the third one says Z. The idea is to see whether if you are all providing an incorrect answer, this will compel the actual final subject, who's the last guy downstream, the 8th guy to be asked that question, if he or she will conform to group pressures. Now, of course, most people, when they hear this, they say, well, no way, I would never conform. I mean, if I see clearly that line A is the same as line Y, that's what I would say, and I don't care what the others say. Now, of course, that's not what happens. Quite a substantial number of people end up conforming. Different studies have found different compliance rates, but if memory serves me right, across studies, it's something to the effect of 1/3 will conform. And again, it really depends on how you define compliance rate and so on. But the general idea is that a great number of people, much greater than you might otherwise imagine, will conform to what appears to be quite an unambiguous situation. So imagine if people are conforming in a very sort of black and white world of the lab, then in the real world, where situations are a lot more fuzzy, a lot more gray, then you could imagine how much influence the group can have on our behaviors. So I love this experiment because, again, it took me a few minutes to explain it. It's very simple. Everybody can understand it, and yet it stands the test of time in demonstrating something so profound about human nature. Now, of course, in the context of my consumer behavior course, I then end up trying to link some of these group pressures to consumer relevant behaviors. For example, I argue that the fashion industry is nothing but a big conformity experiment, right? Somebody decides that brown is in this year, and so if I want to belong to the fashionable group, then I will adhere to this belongingness cue. Next year, brown is out, green is in. Well, I wouldn't be caught dead with that disgusting brown color. We're on to green, right? And so by constantly changing the cues of belongingness, you could keep people coming back for more and more when it comes to the fashion industry. So there you have it. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Tell your friends about it. Incidentally, if you don't mind me saying, I set up now a Patreon account if you'd like to contribute to this channel. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of time to set it up. Some of you have suggested that I might buy, a better microphone, better camera. All of these things would fit under that purview. But frankly, the main reason to support is really to support my time. The fact that it oftentimes takes me quite a bit of time to set up these YouTube clips. For example, the last one that I did with Sarah Hayder, which I'm very happy to see that was very successful, took me all day to upload it because of an audio problem. And so I literally spent from starting at 8:30 in the morning when we began our chat till when I finally posted it around 5 in the afternoon. I won't tell you what a day of my time would cost in terms of consulting fee, but it's a lot of money. So in any case, I hope that you support the channel, whether financially or through spreading the word about it. Thanks a lot. Talk to you soon. Tomorrow's Friday, so let me preempt by saying have a great weekend. Talk to you soon. Ciao.